Alicia Pierre Barnes y lo que we took them off.
Morning.
Okay.
This is 357 District Court will call its court into session for today's docket, Tuesday, March 1st, 2022, Election Day for anybody. Starting with civil hearing, 2020 BCL 1226. The state of Texas, Michael Devin Garza. Mr. Kowalski.
Yes, he's here in the courtroom, Your Honor.
Okay, but where's Mr. Kowalski?
He's just logging in right now. Right on time.
Good morning, Your Honor. Catherine Garcia here for the Attorney General's office on that case.
Okay, what are we doing with this?
Judge, this is a suit to modify child support that the Attorney General's office filed. We filed it back in June, and we're wanting to set child support and medical support for this child. I believe Mr. Kowalski represents the non-custodial parent. We were waiting for wage information from Mr. Kowalski. I don't know that we've received that yet, but we're ready to go forward today, Your Honor.
Mr. Kowalski, I think I gave you a reset for that purpose. Mr. Kowalski.
I think mic is off.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, are we ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so where are we at?
Judge Christine Cortez, is she on? She's the amicus, I believe.
She's on right now, huffing and puffing, but she's on.
Morning, Your Honor. Attorney Christine Cortez,
Morning.
the amicus.
Okay.
Not
you
COVID.
all right? You okay over there? You okay?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I got pneumonia and a little fighting the bronchitis.
Oh
so
my
I'm
God.
okay.
Oh, no.
I thought you got emotional over the case, and I'm going, we have anyone?
Your Honor, I have gone emotional over this case.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay. So what I understand is it two issues, the child support and the visitation, or what?
Your Honor, all right, so there was a little hiccup in this case. It landed in the 444th by accident and then shifted back to your court. The 444s did hear evidence and did put a primary, but did a 50-50 split between the parents. The 50-50 split between the parents, I can see how it can go well, except my only issue that I have with the parents is that they seem to think that they're in some type of telenovela. They will argue with each other about them seeing other people. They literally there was a big fight in, I forget, Doghouse or one of those places, to which in my chat with me, they started telling each other of, you were looking at my best friend and you were doing it. I said, this is not your marriage counselor. This is not your couples counseling. This is amicus. I'm only here for the children, okay? And they're still in that type of zone, okay? They gotta learn, you know what? You're split. You people can date whoever you want as long as they're not harming the child.
Right.
They need to learn this. They need to go to parenting classes. They need to learn to get along and co-parent. Right. Also, Your Honor, there is this issues about the money. The child does receive a monthly check. Dad is receiving the monthly check. Usually when we have a 50-50 split, we do divide between the parties. However, Dad's not giving mom anything and is keeping it in a bank account for the child when she's older. Now, I usually don't get involved in the monies, but this court is going to have to decide, Your Honor, what happens to that check. One, a child is not a check. In order for you to have primary, I need the check. And this is the reason why I want primary. That's not the reason to have a child. You're supposed to, as a parent, take care of your children on your own. However, I do understand when you can't do it because of the economic troubles people have. When that happens, I need the money to be used now, not in the future, because I need her to be taken care of right now. So, Your Honor, you need to decide what you do with that. As to the child support, again, Your Honor.
What is the source of the money?
I do believe it's Social Security.
Social Security?
I believe.
It's the stimulus check from when I was taking care of the baby for about 8 months, and I think it was 2019 or 2020.
Right.
And I was taking she had left, and then I was taking up, she left me with the baby for like quite a while, for like 8 months. And and I was taking care of the baby for the majority of the year. So the IRS says if you have the baby more than 6 months, you can claim the child. And I've had that. So I mean, like, she's asking me to pay her from the stimulus checks that I had the child the whole time.
And Judge, this was because she just left, Your Honor. She just left and left the baby there. She was not stable. She had some problems, I believe, drinking and stuff like that. And when we came to court with Ms. Christine Cortez, all of a sudden she got better. And they split the 50-50, the conservatorship, that, and I was not agreeing to that, Judge, but, you know, for the sake of the child. But now it turns out to be that we are the non-custodial parents, when my client, Michael Devin Garza, was the one who stayed with the child for forever. So we're not agreeing. I mean, we're agreeing to see if I wanted to see if we could do this in person, Judge, so we could present evidence better. But
Your Honor, 2 days before the court.
Is that, you represent him, right, Mr. Kowalski?
yes, Your Honor.
Hold on, Mr. Gatsa. I'll
Michael.
give you an opportunity to speak, but I have to get your blessings from your attorney, okay?
Okay.
All right, and then what, Mr. Kowalski, what?
And Judge, and now we're here, and I wanted to see if we could. I mean, I guess besides the bickering, it's been working out, Judge, and my client and I. Yeah, there's been some problems with that, but he kept the child since May of 2020, Your Honor, all the way to February 2021. Then in July, I mean, she's been in and out. I thought the mother of the child was not.
Where is the mother? Where is
Your Honor,
the,
I don't think she's logged in this morning, but I do believe she had notice of the hearing. But Judge, if I can just give the court a little background information,
Sure.
There was a prior order done by agreement of the parties, and this was back in February 2020, and it was an agreed child support review order. And that at that time, the parties were joint managing conservator. Mom was primary, and the parties were allegedly living together at that time. So they agreed to no support, no medical support, no dental support. But there were custody and visitation. There was a modified possession and access schedule for the dad in that prior order. So that's what we're trying to modify now. And I just wanted to give the court a little context.
thank you.
And Judge, in
Hold on,
January.
Mr. Kowalski. So the order that we're trying to modify has been a result of a prior modification where the parties
Yes.
agreed to the modification.
Yes,
It
Your
was-
Honor, that was out of the 357th, Your Honor. And
Oh.
then,
Right, this is a 357.
yes, Your Honor, and then the case opened up in the 444th, which I don't know how. Somehow it got shifted to the 444th. And then when they went to that court, that's where Dad got primary, and they did a 50-50 split. And then
So,
I had them
Alright.
shifted back to 357th.
okay, let me see if I got it then.
I don't have that.
This was originally filed in my case, in my court, and
Yes,
I
sir.
issued a modification. Did I touch it? Did I issue a modification?
No, it was an original order.
Okay, so then that order, then it was filed in my court, but somehow or another 444th heard it and modified the original order to give 50-50 with mother primary and,
Dad.
and what?
I believe it was Dad primary, 50-50 split.
Dad primary 50-50, and that's the one that we currently have right now.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, so the issue here is what? If it's been working fine, what are we modifying it and why are we modifying it?
Well, Your
And has
Honor,
it been- is it compliant with the statute? The modification sought, they have to within a certain amount of period of time. You can't seek one right away. Is
And
this,
Your Honor,
Is this compliant?
Yes, I believe so, Judge.
Anybody?
Yes, Your Honor, it'd be compliant.
So the modifications in proper order, it can be modified. I thought it was within 1 year after the last order, so 1 year has passed since Judge Sanchez issued the order. Isn't there a restriction like that, that you cannot come and modify something until there's a certain period of time that's passed by, and then it's based on substantial change? Am I relying on the wrong law here?
No,
Yeah,
No,
yes,
Judge,
Your
you're
Honor.
correct.
The rule is that you can't modify within a year without an affidavit. However, as far as I understand, it is after the year that happened. They did file after the year. And so, yes, I mean, it is a proper modification.
Or changed circumstances, Judge. Judge, and what happened was that when the original order was rendered in January of 2021, I believe Mom had custody in the original order. However, she left the baby there and advised my client, you know what, I can't take care of her. I'm going through some problems. And he kept her until right now that we're going to court, since January of 2021, Your Honor.
Cortez, in discharging your duties as the ad litem for the children, did you gather any knowledge regarding the background of the respondent in this case, the mother? Is it accurate? Was she having problems? Did she abandon the child to the dad for X amount of time?
From what I understand, there was a period of time where she wasn't there. Then she came back and wanted to see the child again. From what I understand, I believe it was financial issues, and she does have some financial issues, Your Honor. She does have financial issues. I'm not saying that she doesn't have financial issues.
Oh, is it just financial, or is it addiction of some sort? Problems with alcohol, drugs, or anything like that?
No one's has made to me any type of mention of addiction on either side or anything like that. And when I speak to them,
Judge, may I ask a question to my client?
Yeah, but have you made it, Ms. Cortez, aware of any background like the one you made me aware of this morning regarding her problems with alcohol or whatever that she abandoned, she was having?
Yeah, yes, Your Honor, but not lately, Judge. Not lately, but Mr. Garza can just get, if I may just ask him, the behavior of Mr. Garza that Mom's had.
Okay, I will let you do that, but I'm still without my bearings in this matter. What are you trying to modify? If he's got primary, and my understanding so far has been that all this 50-50 visitation has been working out. What are we modifying?
Judge, I guess we're here to make it a final order.
So we're not modifying anything this morning.
And Judge, if I can answer, the state filed the suit originally in June, the suit to modify, and it was a suit to modify support, not custody or possession access. I don't have any information at all about a different order out of the 444th in this case. I believe this court has continuing exclusive jurisdiction. I don't have a prior order, anything like that. So we filed that support.
And I will assert that if that's the case. If I have continuing exclusive jurisdiction, I will assert my jurisdiction, in due time. But so because I remember, this is all coming back to me, that the last time we were here, Mr. Kowalski asked for time to get the information on the earnings of his client. Isn't that true? Or am I making this up?
No, it is true, Judge, but we were still litigating the fact that we were not agreeing for Mom to have custody, and we wanted to see if my client who would have the primary, which he does, and the 50-50 judge that apparently has been working. I was just worried that the situation was not stable with Mom for her to be caring for the child because she has some problems, and my client can advise the court about that.
All right. So, Ms. Garcia, so your request is against the primary. You want the primary to provide child support to the non-primary parent.
The order we have is that mom has primary under the prior order. And when we filed this suit for modification, it was to set support against dad to pay mom. I don't have any record that there was another hearing in this case with a different judge where custody was changed. And I don't have any written order that says this case was transferred to the 444, or there's an order signed by a judge where dad has primary. I don't have any of that. So we actually filed the suit to set support against dad.
Right. Apparently, Ms. Cortez and Mr. Kowalski do. Where's that order that you all keep referring to that sets primary in Mr. Garza's favor?
It was temporary orders in the 444th, Judge.
Your Honor, paperwork was filed in the 444. Paperwork was filed and it landed in the 444th. 444th did not know that the
Well, I know
387
that,
had primary jurisdiction.
But after this thing came back,
So,
it should be part of the
yes.
file, in my file, right?
I believe so, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor, there was a hearing where I showed it by myself in your court. I did say that, Your Honor, that I had to shift the 444th
You're breaking up a lot, Ms. Cortez.
case back to your court. I did fiction issue. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm in the courthouse. I apologize, Your Honor.
That's all right.
Your Honor, can you hear me now? Am I better?
You're breaking up a lot, and I hear parts and I don't hear parts, but so
Yeah, the 444 transfer back to approve the 444th and make the modification. You can do that today, Your Honor.
right. I'm trying to address Ms. Garcia's concern, and she's causing me concern because she said she has not found any order, written order, that modifies the original where she was named, where Mrs. whatever her name is, was named primary and he was named possessory. That was what's modified at the 444, but she can't find a copy of that order. Is that right, Ms. Garcia?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Correct.
All right, well, let me take a break here. Ms. Salas, can you look into this file to the history, even when it was in the 444? Apparently it spent a little time over there. Somebody sent it over there to the court, and then that court took action. I want to see what actions it took. Are they of record? Is there an order of record? Let me get to the bottom of this.
Your Honor, I'm in the court. Can I come downstairs?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. I'll be right there.
Hi, Fred.
Yes, sir.
I want to mention that to you that I have what do you call it? I have everything under my name when it comes to school, when it comes to Medicaid, when it comes to food stamps, everything's under my name. And she also got reported to housing due to her not having the custody of the child. Well, not custody, but not having the child at the moment.
Hey, Mike.
Mm.
I'm going to be asking the judge for you to have primary. And if 50-50 is working, 50-50 to work.
I mean,
we're not even going to be asking for child support. But if the assistant attorney general wants to put that in, we'll let her, we'll request whatever we think we need to request from the judge. But I'm asking for you to be primary, and then we can type the order right now. I don't know if between the changing of the courts, we filed a temporary order. There's no temporary orders. Well, we're going to be asking the judge to make this a final order.
The temporary order was only because she went to my apartment 2 days prior to the hearing and took the baby without even me knowing.
Yes, I know. I remember. She left. I mean, I have the timeline.
So what, Mr. Kowalski, what is the date of the temporary orders that y'all did?
It's in the 444th.
8/3/2021.
8/3/2021.
Okay, and they were signed, they're signed temporary orders?
No, I think that between the changing, I might have not filed the temporary orders.
No, the judge didn't really want to deal with it. So he was like, oh, well, I see the mom has the child right now. So you know what, we're just going to leave it like that. And I had to tell him that she took the child 2 days ago before this court hearing. And he was like, well, right now I only see the child with the mother, so we're gonna leave it like that. And I had to ask the judge, well, can I at least do 50-50 for like temporarily so I can see the child? Like, how am I gonna go from having the child for over 8 months and then not having the child at all just because she wanted to go to my apartment and kidnap the baby?
So there was no ruling that dad was primary in those temporary orders?
No, I went to court. I took her to court to try to get like custody of the child because she was nowhere to be found.
But
She
it was,
never came
that
back.
was
No, she was primary. Así como está diciendo la de child support.
That's what I,
that's
that's what
what I think that's what happened. But she's not even here today, tampoco. I don't know.
right. So the other thing is, was there any sort of order? See, we filed this as a suit to modify. And in, that goes into 4D court. And then in 4D court, you all filed an answer and requested an objection to the master court. So it got bumped up to district court. But I don't have anything about a prior cause number or under the 444th or anything getting transferred back. So I'm curious as to how it landed in the 444th in 2021. Did you file a suit to modify in
Yes,
the 444th?
Did we
We
file?
filed an original suit.
I think we filed an original suit. That's why I went to the 444th. And what was in the cause number?
Yeah, the cost number is 2021 DCL
2021 DCL
3723.
3723.
Ese es el de 357.
Oh no, that's a 357. Hold on. Really, what I wanted to do is for my client, since he had the child for more than 8 months, for him to be primary, for her to pay child support and be standard. But the judge, I remember Judge David Sanchez did not want to do that. And I guess he felt sorry for her, but without listening to that much to evidence.
Oh, he did feel sorry to her because she was crying and she was saying that I was mentally
What's her
abusive
problem,
to her.
Michael? What's her problem? Drinking?
No, I mean she suffered
Mental?
from depression and bipolar. She was diagnosed when she was smaller, so I mean it continues. And I mean that day that she had left, she was look, there she is. And she had taken off and then left me with the child, and then she had texted me saying that she couldn't do it no more, and then she took off.
Mr. Kowalski, can I get the full cause number of
Yes.
that?
It is that one.
It is that one. Can you check on that one?
DCL.
What, you didn't give me the full cause number.
2021 DCL 03
723. 3723.
3723.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And so I see we don't have any record of that, so I don't think we were ever noticed or made a party to that.
Okay.
Prior order was existing. So you're gonna have some, and there was only an oral order out of the 440 in your case.
Exactly.
I don't think that I don't think there's any orders out of the 440.
There's not.
And this court has primary, or it has CEJ. So
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask just the judge to make a ruling.
well, we at the prior hearing, we were waiting for Mr. Garza's earnings information, and that's what the case got reset for.
No, we got reset due to the process of me fighting for custody.
And I have a notation that Mr. Kowalski was going to provide earnings information so that we could crunch the numbers. So in any event,
If we have to do that, Mike, if we have to do that, we have to do that. I don't think that we did it.
I mean, I can get them for you. I have check stubs through online.
Yeah. I mean, if we have to do that, I'll ask for, I want to see if we can do this in person after today, like maybe in a couple of weeks or something.
yeah, if we
Miss-
do, we would just ask for a quick, a very short reset because
I'm also going to be asking for mom's income information, because we don't know how this is gonna end up, and I do have to have some knowledge regarding income.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I don't see Christine here. Is she still here? No.
She came down here to the court.
Okay.
What other courts do we have?
Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm looking at, is Mr. Kowalski still there? Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm looking at the docket entries on that other case that you filed that we didn't get
Okay.
this time. And August 2021, it says parties present, amicus appointed, and it says temporary order of visitation to be submitted. And that's all it says. So I don't really think that court ever did anything, did appoint an amicus, and then in February of this year, someone filed an order to transfer that case to the 357th, but it has not been transferred yet either. So your cases, whatever y'all requested in that case is not pending yet. In this case, it needs to get transferred. So that needs
From
to
the
just,
from the 444th to the 357th?
right. You all, looks like you all submitted, someone filed an order to transfer case in
Yes.
February this year. That has not been signed by the 444th. I believe that probably needs to get signed so that there's a clear transfer of your case to the CEJ court, which is this court. I
Yes.
think to happen. So that's just one little detail. The other is that I don't believe that court did anything. There is an oral temporary order of visitation. That's what the notation is. But there were never any written orders submitted. And I don't believe the court did anything. There's no orders out of that court.
Right. Okay, so
as it stands now, what is in effect is the original orders that were done back in February 2020, granting mom primary and dad had modified visitation until the child turned 3. Those are the current orders in place.
since the child was like a baby.
So, ma'am, as far as right now, even though the judge had stated that we have a temporary court order, there is no temporary court order in place. So I am primary parent.
We're going to bring this up with the court right now.
Okay.
Ms.
You're-
Garcia,
you're muted,
can you
Judge.
explain to the judge?
You're muted, Judge.
I'll be happy to.
Judge, you're muted.
There's a lot of things that need to be straightened out before I start any hearing here. Number one, Mr. Kowalski, part of this file is still in 444. No motion to consolidate has been filed. I have not consolidated that case into this. That's the first problem. The second problem is that there is no written order that was submitted to the 444th pursuant to whatever hearing you have there. There is no order that we can find that reflects what you just told me. So that's an issue. Number two, I've talked to Ms. Cortez and I've given her specific instructions to find out information regarding the children's circumstances back before this whole started, before Ms. Bardo?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, before Ms. Bardo allegedly abandoned a child to Mr. Garza. I want to know what the circumstances were, and Ms. Cortez, I've spoken to her, she's going to find that out. So I think that this case begs for a reset from all perspectives. First, I want to order Mr. Kowalski to do the right thing and file your motion to transfer any and all proceedings you started in the 444 under an original petition. This court had continuing jurisdiction, but nevertheless, the court will entertain your original petition as a motion to modify, but you may need to fix that up, alleging the substantial changes. I'm not sure, I haven't seen your petition, I don't know what it says. But if you, your wisdom and your professional judgment, that puts you, that issue square before this court, then we'll run with that. Otherwise, do the right thing and modify and change your pleadings accordingly.
Yes, sir.
Finally, the court will order status quo in this matter for right now. And I will also order Mr. Garza not to divulge, not to dissipate, not to waste, not to spend, not to in any way affect the stimulus checks that he's got on deposit for the benefit of the children until this court finds out and get appropriate orders. And until I hear the testimony of Mr. Garza and Ms. Pardo regarding the circumstances of all this matter.
Yes, sir.
Now, in furtherance of that, pursuant to a request that you made to me, Mr. Kowalski, I will order this hearing to be live. To be
Yes, Judge.
person,
Yes.
okay? In person, and we're gonna reset this for, how long do you need, Mr. Kowalski, to get all the situations straightened out from pleadings perspective, as I indicated earlier?
30 days, Your Honor.
All right. Give me 30 days and make it sure that we can do it live, not Zoom. April 1st. Ms. Bardo,
Should I type right now temporary orders, Your Honor, or the status quo?
no, I
Or
want
no,
to
first
order,
transfer.
Ms. Bardo and Mr. Garza, unmute yourself, Mr. Garza. Mr. Garza, unmute yourself. Here's the deal. We're gonna have to straighten out some processes that are not correctly so that I can hear all of this matter at one time. We have 1 foot in one court, 1 foot in this court, and when both feet should have been in this court. You understand me, both of you?
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna give the lawyers time to straighten that out and make sure we get all the issues before me in an appropriate manner so that any order I may issue may be a legal order and will stick. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, sir. Is there any way you can repeat that?
Yes. I want to make sure that everything is in my court, including the other proceedings that they're brought into my court, so that once I issue an order, that order will be legal and a full force and effect if it's violated. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Here's the other thing. There is some conversation this morning regarding the relationship you both have and the animus between both of you. I want to impose on you, I want to prevail on both of you to think about something very important, because I'm going to ask you a question, and I think the answer will allow you to reflect a little bit about what's going on here. First, I'm going to ask you, Ms. Bardo, if confronted with a situation this morning by somebody with a gun and would tell you, I'll take your life or your kid's life, which life would you give, yours or your kids?
I'll take mine because my kids.
And
need
why
them.
would you do that, Ms. Bardo? Why would you prefer that he go ahead and shoot you instead of your child?
because my kids come first and they have a life to live. And I don't think that it's fair that they should have to take their lives for me to survive.
And does any of that have to do with how much you love your child?
It has all to do with how I love my child.
Right, perfect. How about you, Mr. Garza? What would you do?
I would take my own life so she can have a better future and live the life that she would want to live. I've
Right.
already lived so much.
But that's,
I mean, not so much, but you know, I've lived quite a while. So I mean, she should have the opportunity to
let me
experience.
suggest to you that that is motivated by the unadulterated love that you have for the child, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So to me, on the outside looking in, because right now that's what I am, even though I'm the judge in this case, I'm on the outside looking into your lives. I'm not part of your lives. I'm not participating in your lives. I'm not making daily decisions with you in your lives. So I'm on the outside looking in. And it appears to from my perspective, that both of you love this child dearly, that you would give your own life for her. That's what you just told me. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So why is it so difficult for both of you to just cross a small way into trying to get along with each other? Because, and for the sake of that child you both profess to love so much. Why is that so difficult? It's not a bullet. It's not taking your life. It's taking you to have some civility around each other, to try to get along for the sake, not of each other, not to improve each other's life in a certain way by getting along, by improving the life of the child you brought into this world. What is wrong with that? And why does that have to take such a monumental effort when you would easily take a bullet that would end your life for it? Why? I can't understand that.
I
You
don't
both
think there's
seem like intelligent, smart people. You got into this, you brought a child, you asked God to give you a child, he delivered. He gave you a child. Is the child healthy?
Yes, sir.
And he gave you a healthy child. What a blessing. For you all not to see yourselves way into the situation to say, you know what? This is not important. What's important is that we, and I'm talking about you and both, raise this child to be the best that she can be, to have the opportunities we didn't have, to let her flourish, to let her grow with as best as possible mental health without having to be exposed to the bickering and the fighting that you all are having for whatever reason. Why is that not a good thing? Why is that not a good thing? You both have control of this child in your own way. You both love this child in your own way. You both are in a better position to decide the fate of this child without my intervention. You both have the ability, you both know this child more than I ever will. I have no idea what your child is like. I have no idea what she likes. I don't know what she is growing up with her tendencies to be what. I have no idea what she eats. I have no idea how she entertained herself. I have none of that. Zero. But if you all can't see fit, both of you, to get along for the sake of that same little individual you say you love so much that you would take a bullet, then you are asking me to intervene in your life. And I frankly don't want to, but I will. If I continue to see that you're bickering and your disappointment in each other, or your anger about who is going out with who and who is going out with what, that is irrelevant. The discussion should be about the child 24/7 between both of you, not who you're dating and who you're seeing and what's going on and where you're hanging out and who you're hanging out with. That is irrelevant.
Sir,
I
I'm
do
sorry. I
not
don't,
want to come into your lives and order things that you both may not be happy with. I'd rather you both handle it. I'm going to give you 30 days to reset this matter. And I hope that within those 30 days, you find yourselves able to go and look and think about what I just told you and start conducting yourselves as the loving parents that you appear to be. And I have faith and hope that you both will do that, because you just told me you love that child so much you would die for her. If anything else, if any reason for it, that should be sufficient right there to drive you, to motivate you to do as I ask. In the meantime, the orders that are in place will stay. In 30 days, I will hear all of you out in my court in person. I will expect you in my court at 8 o'clock, 8:30, 8:30. Let's do it at 8:30 so Mr. Kowalski doesn't earn a rooster.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, 8:30. I will see you in my court. Every order that has in place will stay. I will give you an opportunity to explain to me whatever you need to explain to Mr. Garza. I haven't shut you off. I haven't blown you off. I will hear you another day until this matter is legally straightened out. We will start then so that everything will be correctly done. Do you understand me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand me, Ms. Bardo?
Yes, sir. Sir, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I did just want to ask real quick because I'm not sure if I heard correctly that dad is not allowed to be spending any of the stimulus checks.
Yeah, for right now, everything is supposed to be stayed where it's at. It's status quo.
Does that count for last year's stimulus checks as well? 'Cause
Whatever
we
he
had,
has, I'm gonna ask him. That's part of the questions we're gonna have on the 31st. What's going on with that? All right?
okay. Yes,
And if
sir.
he has any in his possession, he's not to spend it.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. And I'm sorry, on what date do we have to go back to court?
1st of April.
April what?
First.
April 1st.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Your
Thank
Honor,
Thank you, Judge.
Yes,
there wasn't no signed temporary order, so I mean, what's gonna go on right now during the 30 days? Are we still gonna do the 50-50 temporary?
well, we're gonna hear about that because, one judge heard it and he said that in his opinion, and I wanna see, that's exactly what I wanna do, Mr. Garza. Straighten out what happened in that court and bring it over to my court so that I
Okay.
can see that. Right now, it's that, whatever that court ordered, that's what remains.
Okay,
50-50, okay?
okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
Also, Your Honor, I also have a Google Drive that I could present to the court that has a listing of evidence and that I gave to Ms. Cortez and Mr. Kowalski as well. So I would like to give it to the court as well.
Mr. Kowalski.
We'll file it. We'll file that as an exhibit.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you
Come over to the office, Mr. Garza.
Thank you,
Alright.
Judge.
we'll see you on the 1st.
Okay, Judge. Thank you.